Oh. Okay, where's the bloody thumbnail? Right. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my God almighty, here we go. How is everybody? How is everybody? What happened to that thumbnail? What happened to that thumbnail? What happened to that bloody thumbnail? I don't know. Yeah, edit. Let's see. Okay. Clem Fandango, Eddie, you're late. You'd have to nip to the lid with a fresh bottle of brandy. Probably wouldn't be such a bad idea. Asia Overland with Dave, Derek Mack, good evening. Dixie Normas, Simon Bridges, Steve West, Niall M, Soyber Cow. Okay, Soyber Cow. No, I haven't given up. I'm using the StreamYards thing, and it's not really. It's not really. Well, I'm not used to it just yet. I'm going to take this off. Jeez, what the hell do I look like? Happy Halloween to everybody, okay? I don't know what happened to that thumbnail. I really don't. I'll have to sort that one out later. Oh, get over there. Get over there. How is everybody? It's Saturday, the 30th of October. I know Halloween's tomorrow, but people don't really celebrate Halloween on a Sunday, do they? Clan Fandango, same technology. Richard Sunquarter, when's the last time you tried for a dirty dozen? I tell you what, the last time I tried for a dirty dozen, I think Adolf was dropping bloody bombs on Liverpool, wasn't he? Poppycom, makeup looks fantastic tonight. Thank you, I'm not wearing any. Okay, great outfit. Paul Hoskin, array muffins are back on the menu for November the 1st, okay? But big, yeah, love the costume. Okay, actually, this is not a costume. This is my pajamas. Do you know what? Do you ever shop on Amazon? You know, it's when you're not in better day. I think I'll buy something from Amazon. You go on Amazon, you look at it and you think, oh, that looks cool. I'll buy that, and then you realize, why do I buy this shite anyway? Anyway, it's Halloween. It's Halloween anyway. Clem Fandango. Oh, at least the super chat works anyway. Nice, thank you for that super chat. What am I doing? Okay, we got comments. We got banners. Yeah, banners. Okay, I'm going to create a couple of banners before we go anywhere. Let's see. Okay, banner number one. Okay, and another banner. Banner number two. Okay, there you go. I'll get used to the StreamYards. I will get used to it eventually. It'll take a bit of a while, but I'll get used to it. So, how is everybody? Halloween. It's weather's nice outside. I thought it was going to be. It was raining. The forecast was for torrential rain in the part of the country where I am, but no, it seems to be okay. It seems to be okay. So, let's quickly talk about our old favourite subject, Thailand, and when it's going to open. But I'll just keep this because this is going to be a bit of a happy as Larry. Good man, Eddie. Great to see you. Bad news. Come on, I want that comment there. That's interesting. There. Happy as Larry. Good man, Eddie. Great to see you. Bad news. The alcohol policy won't be changed anytime soon in Thailand. I planned on trying for early December, but not a chance if pubs are still closed. This is very bad news. Now, it's supposed to be open. Everyone knows it's supposed to be open on Monday, isn't it? As in, they're getting rid of, what do you mean by openers? They're getting rid of that bloody awful quarantine, reducing it to 24 hours, which is doable. That's a good thing. But as everyone understands it, the bars are going to be open maybe December. This is what they say. But now Happy as Larry is saying that it's not good. It's not. Oh, well, let's just believe when I say December is the biggest month in Thailand. That is when the ordinary guys, have well, we're all ordinary guys. We're all ordinary guys. It's a strange way of putting it. But, people have their 2 weeks holiday. Christmas is apparently been. I've never been to Thailand in the month of December. I've been there just about every other month other than that one. And I think, I'm looking at beginning of January. That's when I want to go there. But, if it's going to piece itself together, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. David Banner, okay. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. You wouldn't like me anyway. You need a banner with Sam Fox. Happy Halloween. Happy as Larry. Happy as Brad. Eddie lad. Bollocks to everyone else. You look sound lad. Thank you. Stephen West. Thank you. Thank you. Bart finds watch out if he turns green. The only hulky part of me is my bloody belly, mate. I'm put on put on weight. Okay, so what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to talk about old horror movies, and more specifically those beautiful, beautiful women that you get in old horror movies. As many of you know, I'm a big fan. Yes, yeah. So somebody just asked me, am I the real Eddie? Yeah, I'm the real Eddie. It's really is me. Now, I think I've bollocks things up on this StreamYard. It's going to take a while. I've learned a few things, but it's going to take a while to get things moving. I really, really, really would like to invite other people onto this chat. I've got to sort it out. I don't want to be. I don't want to be, making a fool of myself. But that's probably not very difficult. But what I want to talk about tonight is those beautiful ladies in the old horror movies. And who was the hottest and the sexiest, okay? Now, as many of you will know, I am a big, big, big fan of the old Hammer movies, especially from the early 70s, and also Amicus. Don't forget about the Amicus. They were wonderful movies, British movies in the early 70s with some real quality actors in it, okay? So let's just have a little bit of silliness tonight and talk about various ladies who you may remember, your favorite horror movie queens. And the question is, did I not actually do that one? Please be patient with me. There you go. And the question will be hot or not. Okay, that's it. So we show pictures of these ladies, and then you say whether you think she's hot or not. Now I'm just going to do something now because I've uploaded some pictures to my laptop here, but I don't think it's gone very well somehow. I'm still getting used to this laptop. Let's just see if I can just see if there's anything there that's worth looking at. No, I don't think. I think it must be on a separate file. As well. Bloody techno. Somebody sent me a message to say it's hilarious. Old people and bloody technology. Absolutely. No, it isn't there. I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. I really, really am going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm really going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Let's see. No, it's not there. It's not there. Okay, scrub that one. Okay. So the first lady on this list, we'll have a talk about Thailand. We'll have a talk about the various things that are happening right now. Gareth Martin, yeah, good for you, mate. I agree with you. Okay, go back to Thailand. Somebody's saying go back to Thailand or whatever. Okay, Thailand bound. How are you doing, Peter? Nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Happy Halloween to you. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Okay, first of all, somebody sent me a message on Facebook. I'm not ignoring you, man. I'm not ignoring. I think very, very highly of you. Come onto my stream. Man. Show me how it's done. Let's see. What are we doing? Okay. So first of all, the first one that I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna have to do it this way because there's no other way of doing it. We're going to start off with a horror movie lady. We're going to start off with a horror. Well, she's not actually the villain of it, but if you're going to start Halloween movies, where better to start than one called Halloween? What do you think of this lady here? Yes, is she hot or not? What do you think? Okay, who is that? That's a hell of a body, that, isn't it? Hot or not? Anyone? Yeah, Clem Fandango, it's also, I don't understand why people talk to you. Waste the time. Paul Hoskins says hot. Okay, we'll get her act together sooner or later. Paul Hoskins says hot. Simon Ives 41. Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay. Hot. Well, yeah. Superman looks like a man. Here or me. Scott Jamie Lee. Richard Mills was hot in the day. Brian Williams, Tony Curtis' daughter. Yes, she was. She was the daughter of Tony Curtis and also the wonderful Janet Leigh. You know, as in, you know, the woman who got butchered to death in the shower by Norman Bates. Ah! You know, whatever. That's a terrible movie. I think people were shocked when they first seen Psycho. And, you know, I think she was an established actress, Janet Leigh, when she got butchered in about the first third of the movie. Crazy. But we're not talking about Janet Leigh. We're talking about her daughter. And here's another picture. Let's get another picture of it up here. There's another picture of it, yeah. This is the way I've got to do it. It's a beautiful body, absolutely beautiful body. I must admit, really not my type. Really, really not quite my type. Lovely body. I think she revealed quite a lot of it in Trading Places. That movie with Eddie Murphy, that rather unfunny comedy that was a big hit. I didn't like that. Let's see. Poppycorn, absolutely hot, although she's not aged well. She's not really aged well. So her father was Tony Curtis and her mother was Janet Leigh. Apparently, Tony Curtis was not really around a great deal. I think her parents actually split when she was quite young, and she's, you know, she didn't really. Tony Curtis wasn't around much in her early years, but I think obviously they made up much later. Banksy Uncut Live, Beat You to Greece. Okay, thank you for that super chat, Banksy Uncut Live. I really, really do appreciate that. Super 23, 2 manners for you, okay? So basically, Jamie Lee Curtis, very famous. I'm going to get another picture of it. Got to be fair here, haven't we? Got to be fair. Another picture of Jamie Lee. She was in a movie called Halloween. There she is. Very, very girlish in that picture there. Very, very girlish. I have to say, not really my type. I must admit. A Fish Called Wanda, I thought she was a bit bloody annoying in that. I seen her in an interview with John Cleese once when they were promoting that movie, and she was just so bloody annoying, really. But a lot of people like it. Not really my type. Personally, I would have to vote, as in hot or not really for me. So I don't want to sound unkind, but I would say Jamie Lee Curtis is not really. Lovely body, but not really my type personally. Anyway, there we go. Okay, so that's one out of the way. Go back to the comments. What have we got now? Jimmy Bean, she was wowing trading play. Yeah, lovely body. No doubt about that. Darren Drew, still doing Halloween films now? Yeah, doing Halloween films. Well, you know, other movies in the past. Some more modern ones and some sort of retro ones, okay? By the way, I got a couple of steak, but who's eating and drinking tonight? What is anyone eating and drinking? I'm having a Kronenberg. It's nice to see. I think some of it's gone down in price in the what was that in the budget the other day? The more the strength of the alcohol, the more it's gonna be taxed or something like that. I didn't catch the gist. I'm drinking Kronenberg anyway, and I've got a couple of nice steak pies in the oven as well, so they'll be coming along later. Thomas Hancock, Dodger, okay. One of the first horrors was The Fog. I said, well, that was actually quite a nice movie. It was, of course, a John Carpenter movie. I can't remember much. I've seen that film, but I can't remember. Very forgettable film, that one, funnily enough. Very forgettable. Mr. Gamish is a banging body. I've enjoyed 30 seconds of it. Okay. Oh. Let me see. What do we got here? Okay. So the next one. Next one on the list. Oh, my God. Oh, my, no, this. Oh, my God. I've featured this lady on Roger or Dodger before. Who is this beautiful, awesome woman? Who is that? Anyone? Who is that? What a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. A horror queen from some well-known series of horror movies. Who is that? Okay. Anyone? Here's another picture of her here. Oh, my God almighty. Oh, my God almighty. That is absolutely awesome woman. That is a beautiful, beautiful woman. You like her? Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Kate Scott's got a Kate Beckinsale. It is, of course, Kate Beckinsale. Shaggy with E-Type. I love the name, mate. Love the name. Here is Kate Beckinsale. Someone's put Liv Tyler. No, it's not Liv Tyler. It's Kate Beckinsale. It is in the role where she's most sort of well known. And that role is, of course, from that movie Underworld, the Underworld series. Now, I watched a couple of those movies, and they're sort of brain dead. I mean, you know, they're too modern for me, and also they have bullets in them, don't they? They shoot guns in. Since when do bloody people shoot guns in horror movies? That's not what it's all about. I'm not going to. Well, I don't want to talk about what happened last week with the incidents of the firearms in a movie set. That was truly, truly tragic. Truly, truly tragic. You know, so we're not going to talk about that. But that's absolutely dreadful. But there was Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, apparently got killed on a movie set with a real bullet. What the hell was happening there? No, I'm not going to talk about that. That's too sad, too tragic to talk about. Dad was Norman Stanley Fletcher's roommate in Porridge. Of course, Kate Beckinsale's father was that very, very likable comedy actor. Well, he wasn't a comedy actor. He was like, he was involved. He was like the straight man in comedy. He was in Porridge and what else was he in? Oh, he's in Rise and Damp. Yeah, very popular, very popular. But he looked like a healthy young man. He died suddenly at 31. 31 years of age. Oh, that's so sad. He was only a kid. 31-year-old. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That was in Porridge. The Crow. Yeah, that's right. You're talking about The Crow. Brandon Lee who died. Clem Fandango. That was Ace Porridge. David number 23. Where's the thick grannies, Ed? Oh, they're coming up. There's some thick grannies coming up. Somebody mentioned Yvonne De Carlo out of The Monsters. It was lovely. I mean, I haven't actually featured Yvonne De Carlo because it goes back, a bit too far, that one. But she's a gorgeous woman, Yvonne De Carlo. And some of the stuff, I was, looking at the, I was looking at some old photos of Yvonne De Carlo. She's a well-established actress in the, I think in the 40s and 50s, and then she became in the Monsters, and she was smoking hot. Oh, she was smoking hot. Let's see, what else have we got? Tampa 35, Brandon Lee was killed by a blank. The cotton actually went into his brain. So anyway, what do we think of Kate Beckinsale? Oh my God, there's another picture of her in her best. Those Underworld movies, I mean, she is absolutely sensational. She is star quality. She's a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. Those Underworld movies are not really for me. They're too high tech and too modern for me. It's too modern. But she is an absolutely real smoking hot woman. So I would have to say for that one, Kate Beckinsale is hot. She is hot. Absolutely, absolutely hot. Okay, so let's see. There we go. So let's go back to the comments in a moment. Let's see what have we got to talk about. We'll waffle on. If this gets a bit silly, then who cares? It's Saturday night. It's coming to Halloween. Have a drink. Have something to eat. The TV is probably more brain dead. If this is brain dead, whatever's on the TV, bloody Love Island and all that crap, that's even more brain dead. I can't relate to stuff like that. I'm too old for all of that. All these bloody young people, whinging about the relationship. I can't be doing any of that. Okay, Poppycorn. Yeah, nice to hear from you, Mr. Gemba. Let's see, Mr. Gemba. She's sex on legs. Well, that's a nice way of putting it. That's a very, very nice way of putting it. Pinball, not. You're telling me that you wouldn't, Kate Beckinsale? You wouldn't, man. Are you sure you sure you were? Oh, I'm not even going to say it. Not even going to say it. She's a definite hot. David number 23. TV is deranged these days. Bart fans 69. Match of the day. Match of the bloody day. Something. I can't be tolerated. I just haven't got the time for football. I really haven't got the time for it. When you've seen it all, I mean, I don't know if you know Is anyone wearing a tea towel on their head these days? Up in Newcastle land, they are celebrating. Celebrating. Oh, I thought it was hilarious. The images of Newcastle fans wearing tea towels on their heads. It's not really very politically correct, but it was funny. They're celebrating because a certain country, Saudi Arabia, is going to invest a lot of money in their team. And good for them, mate. Good for them. Good luck to them, I say. Good luck to them. I don't get involved in football because it's a very touchy subject. You can make a joke about football, and some people do get very, very angry. They get on their high horse about it. So I'm going to stay clear of that. Let's see. Jay Frey, cheers with dread. Okay, Lewis Burlingame. I loved Ingrid Pitt, my teenage fantasy. She was my teenage fantasy. I'm an old bloody man, and she's still my fantasy. Ingrid Pitt is still my fantasy. Absolutely awesome. Who have we got next? Who's next on the list? I really, really wanted to go into the photos section of my laptop and bring them up and do this properly, but I just uploaded them, and I'll probably find them later on. It's just not responding right now. It's my fault. You know, old people and technologies. You know what they're like. Okay, now how about this next one? Now we're going back a little bit for this next one. This next horror queen. She's a genuine horror queen because this lady, Jesus, she's pedigree. She made horror movie with some real talented people. I'm talking the one and only Roger Corman. She was in that. She was in quite a. She's been in movies. Roger Corman movies. She was also much later in a David Cronenberg movie. This is a genuine horror queen from the 60s. Okay, who was this lovely lady here? All the way from Birkenhead. Yeah, that's where she was born. She was born in Birkenhead, across the water. Jesus, I would take the ferry across the Mersey to see that lady there. Who is that? 1960s horror queen. She had quite a long career. She was even in movies like Shivers in the 70s, and I think beyond that, quite a lot of stuff. But she was actually originally from Birkenhead. Anyone? CEO Hot. Lewis Burlingame, a beauty. Elvira. No one's actually got a name. Scott has got a name. It is from Birkenhead, that beautiful lady called Barbara Steele. Barbara Steele. Someone else said Scott, a Scouser. No, she's not. No, David said a Scouser. No, Birkenhead people are not Scousers. There you go. Here's another smoking hot picture of the gorgeous, beautiful horror queen. I think she was in many horror movies. The Pit and the Pendulum. I mean, Roger Corman's horror movies in the 1960s, quality stuff. Anyone who was in his movies is worthy of recognition. But that is the wonderful Barbara Steele. Don't recognize it? Okay. Age Overland with Dave. What a bloody awful. Off for me until she opens her mouth. Oh, very nice. Let's see. Hot. Birkenhead. Thought it was going to be Lily Savage. No, it's not Lily Savage. Let's see. Where do we go now? There's another faint picture over there. Very, very pale, very mysterious horror beauty. She certainly had the looks. That's those sorts of vampirish looks. And here is a picture of her and the legendary Mr. Price, the wonderful. I'm not sure what film that was from. Was that from Pit and the Pendulum, perhaps, or something like that? He was in that team of Roger Corman, Vincent Price. When I was a kid, I used to stay up late to watch those movies, and I absolutely loved them. I'd still watch them even now. The thing about Vincent Price, oh my God, didn't actors in them days have such amazing charisma? I don't like all these pretty boys in the bloody, that you see around nowadays in movies. They don't convince me at all. I like actors of real charisma, real character. And Vincent Price, when I used to watch him on the TV when I was a kid, in those late night horror movies, he was a scary man. He was creepy. He was totally charismatic, a fine actor. He was absolutely wonderful. I mean, Vincent Price was one of the greatest horror actors of all time. And you know what? Sort of slightly tarnished it for me. I watched him in so many of these late night horror movies when I was a kid, stay up late to watch them. And I came home from school one day at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the daytime TV was running at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And there was Vincent Price on the telly. And you know what he was doing? He was actually on a cookery program. You Vincent Price dressed up like a chef in a cookery program on TV. The Horror King who lives in castles, and you know, bloody Vincent Price in a cookery program. It seemed very, very bizarre, but what wonderful actors! Such wonderful actors in those. Christopher Lee, Boris Karloff, Vincent Price. They were such good. Why don't we have actors? Do we have actors like that anymore? I don't think we do, really. I don't think we do. Now, here's a picture of Barbara Steele. Here is a picture of Barbara Steele. Thailand Bound, was she in The Twilight Zone for a while? It's quite possible she was in a lot of movies and TV series. She had quite a long career. But this is an old favourite of mine. I think you go back to the swinging 60s, 1969. And there is a wonderful movie that I've seen in the 1970s when it was late night on TV. I watched it many times. I know that this is all a bit of nonsense and a bit of claptrap and all the rest of it. But that movie is called The Curse of the Crimson Altar. And I don't care what anyone says. I love quirky, really, really quirky stuff. And I love that movie. I love it. It's got a real swinging 60s film. It's just a perfect British horror movie to watch late at night. It's brain dead. You would watch it now. Most people have never seen that, would watch that movie and think, what a load of claptrap. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen it so many times. I would actually even watch it now because they had adult actors, glamorous people and real actors in those movies. Thailand Bound, 1975. I was 15. My mum used to let me stay up to watch the Hammer horror films at 10:30 p.m. after news at 10, always on a Friday. Absolutely, I was good for you, Pete. Absolutely, wonderful. I mean, when you were that age, you didn't want to be watching bloody, all those stupid bloody Grange Hill or whatever the hell else they had. Appointment with Fear was a series of horror movies on. On later at night. Okay, so what have we got now? Leonard Washington. Barbara Steele is a British film actor, producer known for starring in Italian Gothic horror movies, including Black Sunday, where she played the dual roles of Asa and Prince. Okay, glad there's some horror enthusiasts here. Mark Oleg loved Vincent Price. Back in the late 1960s, I watched a television show called Dark Shadows. That was good. Vincent Price, wonderful. And thanks for that super. That's a nice, big, generous super chat. I really do appreciate that, Mark. Really happy Halloween to you, mate. Cheers for that. You always post a nice comment, Mark, anyway. So thanks for that, mate. I really do appreciate it. There you go. I know I don't pour a drink properly, but I like it frothy. I like it frothy. Okay. So the verdict on Barbara Steele. Let me see. My own verdict on Barbara Steele. I've seen yours. Now I'll show you mine. My verdict is hot. The horror queen from Birkenhead, the legendary Barbara Steele. She is smoking hot. Okay? So, where are we going now? Let's see. I'd say you something. It was, someone said Boris, Thailand Bounder said Boris Karloff is a legend. Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful Barbara, Boris Karloff, absolute legend. Daniel Mills, Eddie, you've seen from Beyond the Grave, 1974, Amicus, Peter Cushing, Donald Pleasance, absolutely terrific. And one of the things about those movies that were made around about that time, you watch those movies now, and whoever they would perceive, probably Paul, you'd have claptrap horror and all the rest of it, they had such an amazingly quality, really genuinely talented British actors, legendary actors. People like David Warner. David Warner was in there from Beyond the Grave as well. Amazingly talented. Peter Cushing was an amazingly talented actor. Donald Pleasance, of course, never delivered a bad performance. Who else? People like Tom Baker were in a lot of those movies in those days. Oh, really, real top quality actors. Let's see. Clem Pinball, Halloween's on film 4 later. Yeah, perhaps. I've seen it. It's not actually one of my favorite movies. It's good, but I don't think it's that good. I think I go back a little bit before that. I think Halloween was 79. Was it 78 or 79? I go back maybe about 10 years before that. Okay, let's take a little break from waffling on about horror movies. CEO it's like something a Thai person in Thailand. It's all very, very complicated getting out there. As you know, another live streamer I was watching earlier said it's like you better take your lawyer out to Thailand with you. You know, it's all dreadful. Look, we just got to wait till see what happens. The thing about Thailand and going out there, I'm hoping to get out there beginning of January for 3 months. And big thanks, by the way, for the people who give me advice about the visa. The consensus is that the way to do that is to get a 60-day visa online and then renew it when you get out there for another 30 days. Is that right? Is that right? This seems to be the consensus. So hopefully that'll all come about. High five. Have you booked anything for Southeast Asia yet? No, I haven't booked anything yet. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why. I'm give it a few more weeks to see what happens. But I think I better get that booster jab, secure that booster jab before I start booking things. Because the fact is that if I, you know, I mean, apparently, I don't know how difficult it is to get the booster. I mean, I might book a flight for the beginning of January, and then, you know, the booster jab. They might say you can have the booster jab, you know, middle of January. Well, I'm on a bloody plane with it, and I need it before that. So I think that's what the thing that I've got to, you know, I think we've all got to do that first. Get that booster jab. David, number 23, Thailand is rioting. Well, there's nothing new about that. You've actually seen Bangkok over the years. CEO, get a visa before you enter from the Thai embassy. Okay. David, number 23. Okay. Oh, let's see. I've got pies in the oven. Time for another Halloween queen. Okay. Who have we got now? Oh, who have we got now? Look, this is a lovely lady. Do you know, some of these pictures are really quite horrific, really. They're really quite horrific, some of these. But here's a nice little sweet picture of this very, 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 very talented actors, absolutely amazingly talented actors in one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Who is this? Anyone? Not sure what movie that was from. It wasn't from a horror movie. It wasn't a horror movie. But anyone know who that is from the 70s? Let's see. Here's another picture of her. I want to show another picture of her. There you go. And that is from one of the finest horror movies ever, ever, ever made. The brilliant Carrie from 1976. Someone said Barbara Hershey. No, it is Sissy Spacek. It is Sissy Spacek. No, I don't know if the YouTuber... You know, here's a picture. Good-looking girl. She could very, very adaptable. She could be a good-looking girl if she had to be. Look very, very strange and, you know, very, very strange. But that is, of course, Sissy Spacek. And can I get away with showing these pictures? This is it is horror movie, but I don't know if YouTube would approve of these. I've got this, you know, Google Images, but that is horror movie. Now, I don't care what anyone says. Stephen King, marvelous writer, and people often debate which is the greatest film of a Stephen King novel. A lot of people say Misery was the greatest film version of a Stephen King movie. No way. Carrie was the greatest. That was an absolutely marvelous, marvelous movie. There she is when she transforms to the prom queen before all kinds of horrific things happen. That is an absolutely wonderful movie. What do you think of Sissy Spacek? Yeah, CEO, hot. Let's see. Clem Fandango, Dodger, Plain Jane, I would. The thing about Sissy Spacek, amazingly talented actress, amazingly talented. And first of all, did you know, and this surprised me, she was actually around a few movies before Carrie. She played a teenager in 1976 in that movie. But she was in a couple of years. She was in films like Prime Cup, which is a very, very good film with Lee Marvin, and also that marvelous movie called Badlands with Martin Sheen, became a bit of a cult classic. So she's been around a couple of years, and then she played a teenager in Carrie. I didn't know when she was in Carrie. She was actually 29 years old. You wouldn't have thought so, but she was actually very, very adaptable, very versatile actress as well, but wonderful. And she wasn't the only great actress in that movie. her mother, you know, Jesus freak, fanatical mother, it was seemed to be the root of all the problems, was played by a marvelous actress called Piper Laurie. And I'll tell you something. If you've never seen that original film version of Carrie, I would exhort you to see it. It's the most one of the 70s finest horror movies, along with The Omen and The Exorcist. And I would rank it alongside either of those movies. And I would actually say that the actor between mother and daughter, Piper Laurie and Sissy Spacek, I would say that is the greatest acting that you will ever see in a horror movie. Seriously, those two women were pure class. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, El Cervico Coleman is. Yet she went on to win Oscars, Sissy Spacek. Amazingly talented. She was also in a lot of TV series before that. And here's a shot. Here's a terrible. Here's a shot where, you know, from when she's in a bloody awful TV show that was around in the 70s. She actually featured in it at one stage. Oh my God! Now that will really make you sick. That is enough to make anyone sick. That is bloody Waltons. That soppy, sentimental piece of claptrap that used to be on Monday nights. Oh my God, I hated that. I absolutely hated that program. Anyone a fan of the Waltons? Oh Jesus, absolutely done my head in that program. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mary Allen. Oh Jesus Christ. I said good night, John Boy, and don't be taking my mucky magazines with you under the bed sheet. You know, we all know what you're doing, John Boy. Oh Christ, I hated that program. Absolutely bloody hated it. Let's see. Okay, so Sissy Spacek. Another important thing before I get off this, you can tell all my enthusiasm for 70s movies is coming out here. Another very important thing I want to say about that movie, Carrie, apart from the fact that it's got the best acting in a horror movie that you will ever see. Also, it featured John Travolta. That movie was re-released a couple of years later when Travolta did it big, and they realised that Carrie featured John Travolta in that movie. He played a bit of a slob in that movie. Well, some of us thought he was a bit of a slob in Grease and Saturday Night Fever, but that's another story. But one of the things about Carrie, it was made, of course, by the brilliant film director Brian De Palma, who went on to make marvelous movies in the 80s. Scarface with Al Pacino, Carlito's Way in the 90s, one of the 90s best thrills. Don't know if you've ever seen that one. And of course, the film version of The Untouchables with Robert De Niro and Kevin Costner. Marvelous film director there, Brian De Palma. Okay, so that is my glowing review of Carrie. And as for Sissy Spacek, is she hot or not? She is so amazing. You don't have to be good looking to be hot. She is such amazingly talented, amazingly talented, that I would say Sissy Spacek is hot. I would give it a hot. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, so there I go. Okay. Thailand Bound. Straw Dogs with Dustin Hoffman was okay. That's bloody good. That was Susan George. I think we featured that one on Roger and Dodger. Great movie. I'll actually do like it. There's a lot of movie fans out here, so I think we'll do a few more about the movies in the future. You know, if it interests you. Bonfire, The Vanities. I don't actually know. We was Sissy Spacek in that one. I know. I never actually got around to seeing that movie. Wiggle There, Too Many Freckles, Dodger. Yes, hot. Okay. So what are we talking about now? We're going back to. Now, there's a good comment. Isn't it? Yeah. Okay. There's a good comment from Paul Hoskin. Imagine John Boy in Pattaya. I couldn't somehow. It was probably a bit of a rave of that actor. It was usually popular show the ones, but I as a kid, I just found it bloody nauseating, soppy, sickly, sentimental, and John Boy was the actor, whatever his name was, who played John Boy. Jesus Christ, most nauseating of all. Okay, what have we got now? Let's have a little bit of a waffle on about Thailand. Tom Robinson, do you think Thailand will be busy this high season, Eddie? Oh, there's a good question, isn't it? That's a good question. presumably you're talking about places like Pattaya and whatever. This high season, okay, the high season runs from sort of late November to March. I think even early November is not necessarily the high season. I think you're looking at the late November, beginning of December, before it really kicks in. I know December is the busiest month. January, February, and even into March. That's my preferred time. I love it out there. But Thailand has a 4-month high season and an 8-month low season, really. You know, it's. Will it be busy? Not as it should be. I doubt it should be. I don't think anyone really believes it would be as busy. It would be the normal Thailand, rocking and rolling as it should be. I don't think it will. But you know, if the wind's in the right direction, you just got to hope, haven't you? You just got to hope. It's going to be an awful lot of bar closures. I know that much. Pinball, Brian De Palma directed It's a Shocker with Tom Hanks, Bruce Willis, and Melanie Griffiths. I don't honestly recall that one. Let's see. Regina, Eddie, what about traveling as a non-drinker? That way you save a lot of money. Yeah, but you're going to have much fun. Oh, geez, no. I think that's out of the question for me, that one. And that's out of the question. Okay. So, going to have a little time for another one, another Halloween. Another Halloween queen. Okay, so oh my God, it is one of my all-time favorites. We featured it before on Roger or Dodger. Featured it before. Oh, she still makes my heart flutter at the very sight of it. Who is this? Who is that? Oh my God! If that ain't a beautiful, sensational horror queen. If you Google this lady, you'll see so many pictures of it. In fact, some very revealing pictures on Google. And oh my God Almighty! Here is a picture of it. Here is a picture of it in a more typical role there. Just look at it. My God, if she ain't the queen of the vampires, I would actually say she's the queen of the vampires. Not a very clear picture. Oh, another one. Oh my God! Here's another picture of it. Oh my God! I was carried away with this one. Just look at that. Is that not an absolutely stunning woman? That from the late from the early 70s. She was in movies in the late 60s as well. Someone's put Ingrid Bergman. No, it's not Ingrid Bergman. You're only half right there. Mark Oleg, She Can Bite My Neck, and mine as well, mate. It is. Someone's put Jane Fonda. No, it is, of course. It is, of course, the one, the only, the absolutely smoking hot and totally sensational Ingrid Pitt, the one and only Ingrid Pitt, the queen of the vampires. I don't know how many vampire movies she was in. She was in The Vampire Lovers, Countess Dracula, I think quite a few others. And I think she was in films like The Wicker Man as well. She appeared in films like The Wicker Man. Poppycorn, Countess Dracula was on Talking Pictures while you were away. Really? I'll have to catch up with that movie again sometime. I really will. Simon Eyes 41. Ingrid Pitt. And of course, Ingrid Pitt, before she turned to vampire, she also featured in some very notable films with this rather obscure actor who you may never have heard of. There you go. Wonderful. That wasn't that a great movie? That was Clint as he was, rebuilding his Hollywood career after his success in the film in the spaghetti westerns. Where Eagles Dare, wonderful. Featuring Ingrid Pitt. Beautiful. Mark Oleg, beautiful. Absolutely. I've got so many. You say beautiful, how about this? Just look at that. Look at that gorgeous woman. Tell me that she ain't the most beautiful. Do women still look like that? They don't look like that to me. Now they got tattoos and they bloody do things to their body that they shouldn't really do. Oh my God. I love Ingrid Pitt. Someone said, where was she from? Ingrid Pitt was actually, she was actually from Poland. She was Polish, Jewish German. I think her father might have been German, and her mother was Jewish. But she actually spent the early part of her years, her childhood, in an infancy in a Nazi concentration camp. I think the fact that possible is that she might have been spared because her father was actually German, but her mother was actually Polish Jewish. Well, that's Jesus Christ. Imagine being brought up like that. I'm going to show you one final picture of the wonderful Ingrid Pitt, vampire lovers, Countess Dracula, my favourite horror queen of all time. Absolutely wonderful, love her. Whenever I Google pictures of Ingrid Pitt, I just get carried away. And when she's wearing the see-through negligee and all that, and she was, naturally womanly in all the right places. Let me see. So the verdict on Ingrid Pitt from me. I know a lot of people love her. I love her as well. The obvious verdict for Ingrid Pitt, Queen of the Vampires, hot, smoking hot. I just love Ingrid Pitt. Okay, so let's see. What have we got now? Simon Eyes 41. Poppycorns, that little point nose. Yeah, she had such a lovely, very, very Eastern European face, didn't she? I know that Poland isn't technically Eastern Europe, it's Central Europe. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Ernest Connor, what was her bra size? I never actually had the pleasure of finding that one out. Dan the Man, wonder if she had they all wear in those days, mate. They all wear. You can actually see pictures of it in a negligee if you actually Google Ingrid Pitt, Google images of it. Darren Drew, thank you for that super chat. I really, really do appreciate that, Darren. Enjoying the stream, good fun as always. Enjoy some beers. Thank you. Thanks a lot, mate. Anyway, appreciate that. One of my Facebook friends there. Okay, Charles Olivia. Ernest Connell, I give her 3 thumbs up. Fran Rush, any pictures of beautiful Thai ladies? We're doing horror movies tonight, and I must admit, I'm sort of old school. I go back. I go back a long way. I still watch the movies that I watched when I was a kid, the late night horror movies. I watch that sort of stuff. I don't like the modern movies. I don't like seeing pretty boys and a lot of these stuff that you see on Netflix. They look like kids to me. I mean, a lot of these, I can't relate to a lot of those movies, especially on Netflix, because all the actors and actors, they look like bloody kids. I can't relate to any of that. I like women to look like real women. And I like the heroes to look like real heroes. I mean, in those days, all the great actors that were around years ago, they look like real bloody heroes. Clint, of course, Lee Marvin, Burt Lancaster, Jack Palance, Bronson. I like real actors. I like real action heroes. They're the type of stuff that I was brought up. I can't bloody take Tom Cruise, pretty boy Tom Cruise says, Sultan the Vegan, Halloween 5, the woman that gets put through the door by Miles with the shotgun. I don't believe I've seen that one. Kevin Tallier, thank you for that, Kevin. I really do appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. I really, really do appreciate that. I mean, that's super. I really do. I think Pinball, Lee Van Cleef. Now you mentioned Lee Van Cleef there. Absolutely, what an amazing, charismatic actor he was. The perfect villain, or he could even play a good guy. Do you know something? We'll talk about horror movies here. But did you know that Lee Van Cleef? I think I'm right in saying this. When I filmed The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which is a candidate for the greatest movie ever made, it's certainly one of them. Did you know that Lee Van Cleef was only about 40 years old then? He looked older, but he died quite recently. He was actually those actors were a lot younger than what you might have thought. He was a lot older, a lot younger than what he thought. Let's see. High Five. Where do you find the old Hammer House of Horror from? The old Hammer House of Horror. The old Hammer House of Horror. I'm not sure what you're talking about. There was a TV series about that. I'm sure you can get it somewhere. You might even be able to get episodes of that on YouTube. It's quite possible. It is quite possible. Sid Buckle, Fenella Fielding, and Carry On Screaming, Smoking Not, absolutely. Poppycorn, Lily Munster was a bit of all right. Yeah, I was actually going to feature, but it goes back a bit long. But Yvonne De Carlo, if you go back in the years before that, she was a well-known actress. I think she even featured in films like The Ten Commandments, and was she the wife of Moses or something like that? I wasn't aware that he had a wife, but yeah, Yvonne De Carlo was a lovely actress, especially when she wore that basque, with a lovely, lovely, sexy body. Sultan the Vegan, what's your opinion on Jamie Lee Curtis? Other fans though, but I'm not sure. We actually featured her at the start of this, so not really for me. Not really for me. Okay, now I'm gonna check on my pies. I'm just gonna grab a beer a moment. Just gonna grab a beer. Okay, it's back to the crony. It is back to the crony. Lovely crony. Beautiful. You get a pint. I'm not even sure how much. Has it changed? I didn't actually look at how much. I just bought a few of them this evening. Crony's still the best. Out of some of the stuff that I've been drinking, that FS beer that you drink in Turkey, I mean, you drink it when you're in Turkey, but I wouldn't drink it here. It's not really that good a quality, to be honest with you. RJ Austin, Lee Van Cleef was actually found dead in a Bangkok hotel room. Are you sure you don't mean David Carradine? I think you might mean, you'd be confusing with David Carradine there, old Kung Fu. Roger, Eddie, do you think the next James Bond will be a woman? Wouldn't bloody surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me, mate. Oh. Sid Boggle, Caroline Munro, and Captain Kronos. Oh, absolutely. Oh, Caroline Munro, one of my favorites of all time. Okay, it was that Sean Harris. It was that. Where is this? Was that Sean Harris? No, Charles Oliver. Charles Oliver has said, Eddie, what do you? Where is it? Yeah. So Charles Oliver has said, Eddie, what do you think of Elvira? I'll tell you what I think of Elvira. I think that she is next on my list. There you go. Oh, geez, that was good. That went down well, didn't it? That went down like the band on the Titanic. Where are we here? Where are we? Come on, where are we? There you go. The wonderful Elvira. Okay, lovely, beautiful. A bit much of a sort of obvious wig. But there you go, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Now, she was on the TV. She was a TV host. I think she was doing a variety of things, wasn't she? What was she doing? Was she reviewing pop programs or something like that? I know she kind of liked Guns N' Roses a lot. Ernest Connor, was that a new? But no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Unfortunately, no. No, YouTube wouldn't. No, it wasn't. She's covered up. Let's see. Mark Oleg, hot. CEO, not. Okay, it was sort of divided. Elvira. Now, Elvira's real name is, I believe it's Cassandra Peterson. That's her real name, and that's what she actually looks like. There you go. Now, lovely looking woman. She went on to, she was a TV star. She was really popular. She's sort of wacky and sort of outrageous. She appealed to horror fans, but in a very nice sort of comical way. She was in a movie called Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. That was quite a while ago. That was about 30 odd years ago. That goes back a long way. And she was a bit of fun, Elvira. Not a serious horror star. Not really a serious horror star, but more of a TV celebrity and one of those famous for being famous people, I think. I have to say, and I don't mean this in any unkind way, she's been revealed that she was actually... She's she sort of bats for the other side. She's actually an L, an L as in Samantha Fox sort of L. You know what I'm saying. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. Each to their own. Each to their own. Good look. Something. There's a lovely picture of her here in a very skimpy bikini. I don't even think I can show you that one. You've got to be careful there. But yeah, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Lovely lady. So what do you think of her? What do you think of Elvira? Is she hot or not? Cassandra Peterson. Let's see. She is 70. Nice rack. Okay. Vampire. Charles Oliver. She used to have Cause Light in the US. I think she was kind of famous for being famous, wasn't she? I mean, that movie that she was in was really quite forgettable, but I think it was quite good fun. Ernest Connell, she swings the other way. That's right. She's revealed she's been in a relationship with a woman for a long time. That's up to her. That is up to her. No problem with that at all. Live and let live. I say, live and let live. So the verdict on Elvira, a lot of people seem to like it a lot, and my own verdict for Elvira, I would bloody say no. I would say that she would have to be. I actually preferred when she's dressed up as Cassandra Peterson rather than Elvira. But either way, she is hot. She is smoking hot. Okay, there we go. There we go. Back to the comments. Let me just see, what was that thing that I've seen earlier? Let's see. Okay, what do we got here now? Hotter than the sun. Joe Hart savers were not. Wiggle it. The subtly knockers were very well positioned. Yeah, very, very observant of you. Mazza, that's a bit unkind. That's a bit unkind. Sid Boggle, Ingrid Pitt was great in Who Dares Win. Who Dares Win? I think you mean Where Eagles Dare. I think you mean Where Eagles Dare, don't you? I should have pictured it there. Sid Boggle, Who Dares Win? Okay, so what are we going to talk about now? We've waffled on a little bit about movies. How about waffling on a little bit about when we're all going, when we're all going to be traveling this winter time? Like I say, I mean, I don't like, talking about anything unless it's 100% certain. And right now, at this moment in time, the reason I'm not waffling on too much about the details of, how you get into Thailand or whatever is that nothing is for certain now. I'll believe it all when I see it. So let's see. Leonard Washington. Let's see. Leonard Washington. Actor Lee Van Cleef, whose steely eyes and hawk-like features won him a long career playing arts films and western movies, died early Saturday, apparently of a heart attack. He was 64. No, he was older than that. He was older than that, mate. He died quite recently. I think he died quite recently, Lee Van Cleef. He was older than that. Let's see. Stuart Wright, she was in Lewis Collins' film SAS, Who Dares Wins. Are you talking about Elvira? Who are you talking about exactly? I'm not quite sure who you're talking about there. El Terrifico, that's a good name. Mexico in January. Sure, it's going to be bloody good. How about sort of love-hate relationship with Mexico? A couple of times I've thought, shall I give it a shot or shall I not? And each time I've well, I was almost going to book a ticket, some months ago, and then it got put on the red list. But I think a lot of the consensus is for Mexico that it's not the most exciting place to be making YouTube videos. A lot of people who watch this channel and who like the Far East, Asia a lot, seem to think Mexico could well be a kind of a boring place. Roger, whatever your name is. Eddie, you ever had a problem with the bill in bars in Thailand? Are you talking about the old bill or the actual bill, that you get? I think you're probably talking about the bill that you get in the... No, I haven't. Or bill pattern, they call it, don't they? Where they put in more than what you've actually consumed. I've actually never had a problem with that. I don't think I've ever had I don't think I've ever had a problem. I honestly say that I've never had a problem. I know others have. I haven't. No, I haven't. Dark Side, Van Cleef went in 1989. Did he? Did he really? Google says he died in 1989. I thought he died recently. Oh, well, I could be wrong. Eli Waller passed away a few years ago. Lee Van Cleef was some way back. I don't know. I've kind of lost track of all of that. Big Time 9/11. Have you ever been to Sihanoukville, Cambodia? I was with all those Chinese casinos. I went to Sihanoukville many times when it was good, in the days when it was good. Not anymore. CEO, I've been ripped off countless times. Are you talking about bars in Thailand? Jesus, if you ask me that, I cannot actually think. I can't actually think of the top of one where I've ever been ripped off in bars in Thailand. I just honestly can't think that. They've always been quite straight with me. Always kind of, there have been a few incidents, a bar girl in one of those complexes, can't remember what it's called, in Walking Street, bar girl, very voluptuous girl, a nice girl. You know, she, you know, sort of, you know, sort of. You know, met up in the bar and whatever, and you know, bought her a drink. She said, "Buy my mother a drink." That's my mother behind the bar. And her mother, okay, I'll polite, I'll buy her mother a drink. And of course, her mother chose the most expensive drink. She chose a Carlsberg Export, which is miles more bloody expensive than all the other ones. Yeah, yeah. So I suppose that's about as close as you can get to being ripped off in the bars. Crafty buggers. Who's put this? Stuart Wright, Ingrid Pitt was in Who Dares Wins. Now, I didn't know that. I have seen that movie many years ago. I do not remember in that movie. So thanks for that info anyway. El Terrific, Eddie, your Cambodia videos are the best. Thanks for that, mate. Anyway, cheers for that comment. Appreciate that. Let's see. Drew Barrymore and Scream, yeah. Pal 555, never refuse to pay when you have a big bill, a big problem. I'll tell you what, the only time I think I've ever been cheated, I think it's, admittedly, it was a hotel receptionist, the negligence. I was checking out of one hotel, and the day before I checked out, I went to another hotel because it was during Chinese New Year, and I wanted to make sure that I was going to get a hotel. But I went to the receptionist, and I paid for tomorrow and the day after, and basically, she interpreted somehow. She swiveled it. I was going to pay for that night, even though I was in another hotel, and it ended up causing a bit of altercation. So, you know, be careful when you go into a hotel. Make sure you know the actual dates that you know you're going to be paying for that hotel. She obviously misunderstood me, and you know, but I've never really had too much of a problem. Let's see. No, agree with Wiggler. Wait for talent to get back to full tilt before. But see, the thing is, I think a lot of people are divided right now, aren't they? There's people who are saying, "I can't wait to get out there." Some people are saying, "As soon as it opens, I'm getting out there in November." I wouldn't, because a lot of the bars are not open there. You're not going to have a great deal of fun. Some people are saying December. Some people have got to opt for December, obviously because it's Christmas holidays. Sounds pretty good, but are the bars going to be open? I think you just got to sit back and wait and see what happens. I don't think I'll be rushing to book my flight just yet. I'm going to. I'm hoping to be flying out there beginning of January, but on the plus side of it, I was looking at flights. Now, I've heard a lot of people saying, wow, the flights are going to be ridiculously expensive. Maybe they're looking at December flights, which probably are more expensive. I looked the other day, glanced at flights, a return ticket, a 3-month return ticket from London to Bangkok. Not a direct flight. I think they seem to be quite difficult to get, but not a direct flight, but a reasonable flight with Emirates or one of those companies. And you know something? The return ticket was very reasonably priced. It was not really that much different than what I paid in the past. It was about £550 for a decent return ticket from London to Bangkok. So let's see. Sid Boggle, Ed, when are you going back to Turkey? Not anytime soon. I mean, I like the country, but my your videos there weren't exactly a rocket. There's still another couple of videos, to come out, but there wasn't really a great deal of interest. Some people liked them a lot. Some people were just not really interested. That's the way it goes. Yeah, let's see. Fran Rush, what's that? Never was in Cambodia. Probably only on visa runs. Are you talking about yourself? You're talking about yourself? Well, whatever. You talk about yourself if you want. Nobody. Carolyn Jones, Morticia Adams. Yeah, I can't actually remember. I watched that program years ago. I've never watched it since, so I can't actually see what. I don't remember what chatty. I'll tell you what. I will tell you what. There is on that adult website. Pornhub, you can get an adult, version of of what's it called? an actual adult version of the Addams Family. It's bloody good. But anyway, speaking of the Addams Family, who is this? Who's that? Anyone? Is she hot or not? Anyone know who that is? Looks like she's wearing a mask. I think it's just the way the light is catching that picture. Good-looking woman. A bit of a milfy look to her. Anyone know who that is? Yeah. David, nice to hear from you, David. Anyway, Kevin and alcohol says, okay. Hot. CEO Sid Boggle says, Billy Shears, the one and only Billy Shears, says it's Angelica Houston. It is, of course, Angelica Houston from the movie version. Was that about 1990 or 91? That was about 30 years ago, that movie version. I think they've done 2 films of the Addams Family. I think the first one got a huge hype, and it was a big disappointment, the first movie. It just wasn't funny. The second Addams Family movie was a lot better, was much, much, much better. But there's another picture of Angelica Houston. What do you think of her? She is, of course, the daughter of one of the most legendary Hollywood directors, John Huston, who made some wonderful films with Humphrey Bogart, The African Queen, the Maltese Falcon, and one of my favorite Humphrey Bogart movie of all time, the most amazing Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Absolutely one. So her father was very, 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 very talented, legendary Hollywood, very, very talented Hollywood film director. But what do you think of Angelica Houston? Because I have to say, he doesn't really do it for me. Anyone like her? Mark Ollick, John Aston is still with us at 91. Now, he was a charismatic actor, wasn't he? That's not John Aston. That's actually another actor in the film version of it. But John Aston was the original Gomez. And what a wonderful actor he was. Now, that is what I mean. They had charisma in those days, those actors. He's 91 now. Wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. I used to love the Addams Family when I was a kid. Chris X thought it was Cher. No. Better than Cher. I'm not a fan of Cher, to be honest. Angelica Houston, we have a problem. Mark Ollick, right. Tampa Guy, no. Samuel Hutchin, love the lady and Carry On Screaming. I believe her name was Fenella Fielding. Yeah, you're quite right there. Pinballs, you played Agnes Brown in the film now, Mrs. Brown's Boys. I must admit, Angelica Houston, I haven't seen her in that many movies. I know she had a fling with Jack Nicholson, but there's another picture. A nice woman, very, very milky. What do I think about it? She's got that kind of high maintenance look. You know, she's got that kind of, when you take her to a restaurant, she's an expensive looking woman. She's only going to settle for the poshest ones. You better have a deep pocket. If you take Angelica Houston on a date. I like it, but it's not really for me. So what do you think of Angelica Houston? Looks like, someone says, looks like a self-harmer. Yeah, okay. So let me see now. So I would have to say, personally, it's only my own personal opinion, is Angelica Houston hot or not? I would have to say not. Not really for me. Not really for me. I must admit, not really for me. But we've got a couple of others still to go. How are we doing for time? How are we doing for time? Been here for quite a while now. It's Halloween. This is a load of rubbish. I'd love to talk a bit more about what's happening on the travel situation, but everything is so vague right now. Bronx, Ed, I think you'd enjoy doing the North Coast 500 in Scotland. Plenty of good bars on the route and great scenery. Yeah, but I've never actually been to Scotland. I think it's too cold for me. I like going to I like going to hot countries. Mark Holland, great, yeah. Dark Side, prefer Elvira. Yeah, I prefer Elvira. I prefer Elvira. Absolutely. Okay. Chris X, Roger, I've done worse. Okay. Sid Boggle, Silver Lady, great tune. That was whatever. Yeah, Leonard Washington was it 64 years, 1925 to 1989, Lee Van Cleef. So I was right. When The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly was made in 1965. And I know with those spaghetti westerns, a fistful of dollars for a few dollars more, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Quite often when you see those movies listed, they're often listed as all three of them being made in 1967. They weren't. That was the year that they were released in Britain and America. They were released in continental Europe for a couple of years before that. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly was actually 66. It was 66, that movie. So Lee Van Cleef would have been about 40 or maybe 41. Very, very young in that really, when you think about it, compared to me anyway. Let's see. Charles Oliver, burning hot in La Palma right now. Is that Mallorca? Paul Hoskin, I would go to the North Pole. There were Thai pole dancers there. Brian Hudson, Eddie, when do you plan submitting your application for the Thailand pass? I actually think, Brian, that before I do any of that, I think I better get that booster. I think that's the first port of call, just to make sure that that's out the way with. And then, you know, after that, look at the flights basically. And Nomad Joe Hart, yeah, you're right. He was in High Noon in the 50s. Lee Van Cleef was one of those actors who was in a lot of classic movies as a heavy before he became famous. Lee Van Cleef. Who else was a heavy? Lee Marvin was a heavy in quite a lot of movies. He was actually in The Wild One with Marlon Brando. Let me just get that off. Hide that one. He was actually in The Wild One with Marlon Brando. Charles Bronson was a heavy in a lot of movies, and these people actually became big stars, didn't they? And Nomad Overseas, I think Clint's first film appearance was in the movie Tarantula as a fighter pilot dropping bombs on the giant spider. Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, he's in an airplane. Yeah, I've seen that one. Okay, so back in a moment. Okay, back in a moment. I'm going to check on my pies. Squeaky. Wait a minute. I've got to do this properly, haven't I? I can do this properly. I'm on StreamYard. I'm doing this properly. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm back. What do we got here? There we go. Ernest Borgnine, great actor. Yeah, Squeaky Daughter's back. Okay, now what do we got here? Let's put that over there. These are Co-op steak and kidney pies, and they look bloody good. Okay, I'm going to indulge in one of them right now. Chuck that over there. A nice little bite of a Oh my God, this looks so damn good. This looks so damn good. Nice little bit of tomato sauce there. Mmm, beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely lovely. You don't realize how hungry you are. Oh my God, lovely stuff. Lovely. Mmm. Co-op, kidney pies. Okay. Let me have a little munch for a moment. Mmm. Lovely. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's just the thing to be eaten on a cold autumn night on Halloween or the day before Halloween. Two people have said, Paul Hoskin, Paul UK, have both said, Eddie, what happened to the diet? It can start tomorrow. Let's see. Charles, I like the steak part, pie master. Ernest Connell, squeaky pies. Eating pies with a fork, you've been down so too long. Eat them out of your hands. Oh, my hands will get all grubby then, won't it? Oh, geez. I can probably go the whole lot of them right now. That's really starting me off. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to our lovely horror queens. Now, this, some may think that this is a real, actually, I've got a couple of movies here which some may think are really obscurities, but I'm going to end these ones. I've got 3 movies here to mention with my type of movies, late night horror movies that I watched when I was a kid, and which I'd still watch even now. But I'm going to show you this one. Let's see. That's a little bit of a little bit of sci-fi with the Scouse diet. Sid Boggle, Eddie Lee, Grant and Omen 2. Sid Luther, pork pies. A little bit cold for pork pies. That's why I'm having something a little bit hot. Now, I'm going to show you my favorite. Actually, Ingrid Pitt's my favorite of all time. My favorite horror queen. But I'm going to show you. It's late at night. It's late at night, and there's no youngsters or easily offended around. Okay. The hairiest, my favorite of all time, hairy vampire. I I love women, el naturel. I love women when they were nice and hairy. They didn't have any tattoos. Anyone got any idea who this is? Obviously, I can't show you the more explicit pictures, but anyone know who that is? Anyone know? She looked older. She was actually only 19 there when she made this particular movie. Anyone got any idea? But my God, total womanly. I'm going to show a better picture than that. There you go. Gorgeous looking girl. She was in Italian horror movies, but she was actually Spanish. She was actually Spanish origin. Anyone in a lot of movies, someone's put, some CEO says hunt. CEO says hot. Here's a picture of her in one of these movies. It's some of you may have seen this. I've seen it many times for obvious reasons. There she is. Her name, if you don't get it, if no one gets her name, I'll tell you who she is. But she was in a movie called 1973 film called The Female Vampire. It went under a variety of names. It actually went around it's nowadays known as the Female Vampire, but it actually went around the cinemas in the UK as an certificate, of course, as they were called then. It actually went under the name of Bare-Breasted Countess. So it actually had a couple of names, but there you go. There's a poster for The Female Vampire. That's what it's called now. It was called Bare-Breasted Countess in those days. And the reason, it was a movie made by Jess Franco, an Italian horror And I love that sort of stuff. It's really creepy, but it's really good fun. And her name was Lena Romay. Now, I know that there was an actress and a singer many years before that called Lena Romay, but you can actually, if you actually Google her name, you can actually get it in some quite adult movies on YouTube, believe it or not. But I love her because she was so hairy in that movie. She's basically wearing a black cloak and a black belt, and nothing else in that movie. And my God, she is so hairy. I don't want to go into deep, but it's so. I mean, the fact is, she looks like a real woman. No tattoos, beautiful body, and genuinely hairy. Oh my God, she's the hairiest vampire that I've ever seen in a film. In fact, there's one scene when she walks in through these patio doors, and and she's so hairy. Fanny enters the room before she does. I mean, my God, she is smoking. Her name is Lena Romay. If you've never ever seen that film, it goes in the name of Female Vampire. It's an Italian-made horror movie. It was actually filmed in the island of Madeira, which is a Portuguese island. She is Spanish descent, but she's of Spanish descent, but she was in a lot of Italian, quite a lot of movies exactly, and she wasn't shy about getting the kit off. Go and check that movie out and just tell me that is the way a woman should look. Absolutely wonderful. Anyway, Lena Romay, my favorite hairy vampire of all time. Okay, who's this? A lot of people haven't heard from. Well, go and check that movie out. My God Almighty. And as for Lena Romay, she is absolutely 1000% smoking hot. I would vote Lena Romay as smoking hot. Don't get her confused with that old actress and singer from many years before that. Joe Hart, yeah, natural is best. Sometimes even I watch a movie like that, and I see the women, natural bodies and natural hairiness and all that. Why aren't women like that anymore? They're not like that. Eugene Vince is not so keen on the fuller bush. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the full bush. I'm gonna have another little bite of steak and kidney pie. Paul Hudson, I like it when you have to use a comb and a hairdryer. High five. Those Greek ladies have magnificent hairy butt. Yeah, okay. Getting a bit vulgar now anyway. Little bite at my pie. Well, I will make that very hard. Put a little bite. Lovely stuff. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see. High five. Those Greek. Well, Joe Hart. You mean To the Devil Adores It? No, that was with Nastasia Kinsey. This was a different movie I'm talking about. Wiggle it. If Harry Eddie had a 70s Black Beauty with a bus, it would sound like Velcro pulling them apart, okay? Okay. Pinball. I like Kate Bush. I like Kate Bush as well. Anyway, so Mark Alec, Eddie, do you love the pie crust? I absolutely love the pie crust. Absolutely. Pies late at night, perfect. I wouldn't eat them all the time. I'm supposed to be on healthy eating, but I'll start that tomorrow, okay? So let's just go back to another. I'm coming to the end of this now. We've waffled on a little bit. I mean, there's a load of Halloween silliness, but why the hell not? I like old horror movies. Now, here's another old classic that a lot of you will not have heard of. It was a movie which was sort of a follow-on movie from the vampire lovers in the early 70s, which had the most amazing lineup of Ingrid Pitt, Madeline Smith, Kate O'Mara, absolutely gorgeous women. Gorgeous women. Have you ever heard of this movie? I wonder if you heard of that one. There you go. Anyone heard of that one? It was actually, I think Ingrid Pitt was supposed to be in that movie, but the reason that I love movies like that, I've seen them many years ago, and they are so wonderful to watch overnight. And the reason I love movies like that is because of women like this. Oh my God! Now tell me, that was the star of that movie, Lust for a Vampire, and her name was. I've written her name down somewhere. Where did I write her name? I'm gonna get her name. Can anybody possibly tell me the name of that lady? Anyone? No, she looked like she was out of ABBA. She looked like she was out of ABBA. Wow, wonderful, wonderful. And they had such fantastic, there's another picky over there. What a gorgeous woman. That's the way women should look. Smoking hot, natural woman. Joe Hart has got it. My God, man, you are brilliant. You are brilliant, man. You are brilliant. Did you just look that up on the internet? No, you might have known that already. No, full credit to you. Her name was Yachty Stensgaard. Yachty Stensgaard. That was her name. And apparently she was in quite a few movies, you know, quite a few bit parts in various movies. She actually came to Britain as an au pair girl. She was actually Danish. She was actually Danish origin. But there's another scene from Lust for a Vampire. Wonderful movie. Very, very tacky, but, you know, great fun to watch. And they had real actors. That guy there, what was his name? Was his name Mike Raven? I seem to recall he was in a lot of horror movies then. They had such charisma, those actors. They really, really did. And Ralph Bates was in a lot of those movies. See, there you go. There's another fine actor, Ralph Bates. Very talented English actor. They really, really, you know, were top quality actors in those days. There is a picture of that actor. I think his name was Mike Raven. No, that's not. That's the wrong one. That's the picture there. That picture. I think that's the picture of Mike Raven. Now, just look at that. That guy is made for horror movies, isn't he? So goddamn charismatic, not like bloody Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise and all those other Muppets. You know, no, that was really, they're really charismatic actors in those days. Let's see, El Terrifico. Poppycorn says, I love Catherine Deneuve in The Hunger. My God, I should have included her. She was absolutely wonderful. She was in quite a few Roman Polanski movies, wasn't she? Catherine Deneuve, absolutely gorgeous woman. So, Yachty, I forgot her name. What is her name again? Yachty Stensgaard, the au pair, all the way from Denmark. There's another picture over there. Another picture there. My God, imagine you're walking through the woods of a night time and you came across that. My God, you couldn't resist, could you? What a lovely, lovely lady. Beautiful lady. That's why I love those old horror movies, because they have women like that in them. Absolutely fantastic. Ernest Connell, Kathy Bates. No, definitely not for me. Chris X put Master Bates. Okay, do you each to their own, mate? Okay. Ernest Connell, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. A little bit young for me, that one. A little bit young. So anyway, I've got to see her name again. Yachty Stensgaard. If you've never seen Lust for a Vampire, it was sort of like a sequel in a way to The Vampire Lovers. You know, it's sort of a sequel. If you've never seen Lust for a Vampire, go check it out. Absolutely wonderful. And as for Yachty Stensgaard, the au pair from Denmark, she is an absolute, unequivocal, lock, stock, and barrel. Hot. Absolutely hot. Absolutely hot. Okay? So let's get back to the comments. Let's get that off a minute. I'll get my act together with this thing one of these days. And I'll sort out that we're going to get some guests on this pretty soon. But I haven't actually, I haven't actually figured out how to use it properly. Okay, let's see. Chris X, stop it. I'm going to order a dirty in a minute. Good for you, mate. You know, whatever. If it feels good, there's no hippie saying, if it feels good, do it. Mark Hollig, smoking hot. Absolutely. Thank you, mate. Sean the Prawn, Kathy Bates is a fox, Ernest. Kathy Bates, okay. Ernest, Sean the Prawn, nice to hear from you, Sean the Prawn. I'm going to finish this now anyway. I'm gonna go out on a high note. But before I do that, one more bite of my pie before we come across the final installment of this. This has been a Halloween production. It's been silliness. It's been, it's been clapsap. But if it's a bit of fun on a Saturday night, what the hell? I'll have to reheat those in a moment. Who have we got next? Sam Let's see, high five. Any female guests lined up? I'd like to have some guests. Yeah, I could line someone up, but I need to figure out this StreamYard first of all. You know, it may take a little bit of a while. I would like to have some people from Thailand on here, or that part of the Philippines, or that part of the world. The problem is then you've got the time difference. I mean, 10 o'clock in the UK is about 5 o'clock in the morning in Thailand, so it doesn't work really. Although the hours going, it'll change tonight, won't it? Because the hours going back, so there'll be 6 hours ahead of it. So in that case, it'll be 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, that's all crazy. Which is even worse. Okay, Poppyco, next hour in bed tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. This is the end of British summertime as we know it. So, Yachty Stunker, we've seen some hot ladies. As you may have gathered, I'm old school. I love the old horror movies when women look like women, and you know, they were nice and hairy and they didn't have tattoos and they had real feminine bodies. Okay, so this is another 1971 horror classic, and it's basically, have you ever been into the Co-op and, you know, or Sainsbury's, and you got buy one get one free lasagnas, 2 for the price of 1? Well, how about this, 2 for the price of 1? How about this? Look at these lovely ladies. And if you can't remember the name, anyone know what movie that was? Anyone? There's another nice little more demure picture of them. Anybody know who these lovely twins were? There's a clue there. 1971 horror movie. I think somebody actually mentioned it earlier, funnily enough. Pinball, Twins of Evil, absolutely Twins of Evil. They were the Collinson twins, and this was the most well-known movie they were in. They were actually the Collinson twins in Twins of Evil, which was an excellent Hammer horror movie from 1971. It featured Peter Cushing and probably a few other very talented actors. They were actually the first identical twins Playboy. Playmates. They were actually in Playboy together. I've never actually seen the pictures. I'd love to, very much love to. But they were the first identical twins ever in Playboy, the Collinson twins. Poppyco and Haley Mills. Yeah, Haley Mills was lovely. Pinball, Twins of Evil, Stuart Wright, absolutely Twins of Evil. That is such a great movie. I mean, just look at them there. Just look at them there. Anyone fancy a sandwich? I bloody do. I wouldn't say no. Lovely girls. They played such a great part in that movie, and one of them was a feisty one, another one was a more demure one. They played a wonderful part. But that is one of those movies. It probably didn't get good reviews in the day, but you look back at it all these years later, they were top quality movies with top quality actors. They were quality stuff. Billy Shears, wonder what he looked like now. Well, one of them is dead, so I wouldn't count on that. Sean the Prawn, who makes a better kebab, turkey or grease? Well, I actually like the Greek gyros, to be honest with you. I was very much a fan of that. And there you go. Here's one of those wonderfully creepy actors there with one of the Collinson twins there. It's a very flashy. If you actually look at Google, you can actually see some quite revealing photos of the Collinson twins, or one of them anyway. And of course, there you go. I can't leave this without showing a picture of that wonderful actor who, I think he played the Wicked Uncle, a witch hunter in that movie. But he was such a top quality actor, Peter Cushing. Absolutely amazing. They really were. Of course, I think people actually realize what a great actor when he actually appeared in Star Wars. So, some years later, Mark Ollick. Madeline passed in 2014. Absolutely, very savvy. They probably wasn't that old either. Pinball, was that their only film? Not sure. I think they actually played bit parts in other movies. I was looking at it, but anyway, I mean, Twins of Evil, wonderful film, terrific horror movie, and Jesus, oh my God, another demure look at the Collinson twins. Like lasagnas, buy one, get one free, 2 for the price of 1. Who wouldn't say no to that? If you've never seen that movie, go check it out. It is perfect late night entertainment with lovely, lovely, sexy babes. You know, women the way that women should look, the way that they used to look. So for the Collinson twins, the Steady Eddie verdict is the Collinson twins smoking hot. Absolutely, absolutely. Ottie Stengard, Ingrid Pitt, Kate Beckinsale, oh, wonderful actors. So, anyway, that's it. That is the Steady Eddie Halloween silliness for this weekend. I wish we had more to talk about travel, but this is a bit. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about travel when we get the facts. And it's, you know, the facts that are the important things. You know, you can't really talk about anything unless you get the facts. At this moment in time, they say that Thailand's going to open in a couple of days' time. I think when they say open, I think what that means is that that nauseating 2-week quarantine or 7-day quarantine or whatever it is finally going to be ditched. But we're not out of the woods yet. We are not out of the woods yet. Far from it. This never-ending pandemic, anti soap opera is far from over. It's far from over. So, Peter S. Sid Boggle said Britt Eklund in The Wicker Man. Wonderful, absolutely gorgeous. Ingrid Pitt was also in The Wicker Man. Peter S. She got about Ingrid Pitt. Peter S. Peter Cushing played all the scenes in Star Wars wearing slippers. The evil Governor Tarkin. It wouldn't surprise me. Very, very down-to-earth guy. Charles Oliver, Britt Eklund in The Man with the Golden Gun. We'll have to do all the hottest James Bond women one of these days. Popcorn, don't have nightmares, 555. Jesus. I wouldn't mind having a nightmare with the Collinson twins. Yeah. Wanderer, 24, was a body of a Brett of the Wicker Man. He's got about Ingrid Pitt. She was actually in that movie herself. What, really? I don't know. Ernest Connell, Don Knotts and the Ghost of Mr. Chicken. Never heard of it. Darren Drew, great stream tonight. Said, okay, I'm going to finish that. Thanks for that comment. Listen, I'm going to finish this. Thanks for the super chats, guys. Much, much, much appreciated. This StreamYards thing that I'm using now, I still haven't learned how to use it properly. But I'll get there. I'll get there sooner or later. I've done a few little things. I've learned how to put a banner up there and you know, do various other. I'll try and get my act together. We'll do some regular evening stream, maybe a couple of times a week. Don't know when we're going to start. Maybe this week or, you know, whatever. But listen, it's great having your company, guys. Thanks for I Am Tilt, Mark Oleg, Sid Boggle, all of those people. I really, really do appreciate it. I'll say good night. Thanks for your company. Let's hope we can get some good news on the travel front pretty soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Oh, there we go. Good night, guys.